Let this dot represent one job opening. This is the number of jobs available in Sydney, Nova Scotia in November. This is the number of international students Cape Breton University took in last year. Now let's look at you. You think there's more to life than living like your parents, spending your entire life in one country. You think moving to a country that has one of the most developed economies to pursue higher education and then getting a job will make your life easy and effortless. Then you see international students that move to Canada, living their best life, easy classes, fun parties, fancy office jobs, a big house. You start thinking, if I don't act today, I'll never have that life. So you embark on a long journey. You go to an agency, they reassure you of your dream life in Canada, sell you a university that pays them the highest commission. So you put all of your savings into this dream to realize.
We had classes at the cinema hall.
I never knew the entire program was going to be online.
The university's website, they showcase a very cozy picture of life in Canada, but that's not actually the scenario.
This year, it's really insane. There's a lot of international students.
I'm trying to see a future for myself here, but in all honesty, it seems very scary right now to be here in this country.
Get ready, because we're embarking on a rough road to discover what the Canadian dream really is. Part 1. Who's lying to you? When I publicly announced I'm putting this video together, I got a very disturbing yet reassuring text message from an international student recruitment manager at a fairly big company that profits from international studies. She wanted to stay anonymous for obvious reasons, but what she shared made me think, wow, this is deeper than I originally anticipated, and it might be quite dangerous going into it. However, having built one of the largest communities of international students in Canada, I think it's my responsibility to make you successful long-term and not take away from your success. So I started my investigation. Now I'd like to direct your attention to what economists use to determine how successful a country is. GDP, or gross domestic product, or basically how much a country earns. Canada's GDP is the 9th and soon to become number 8 in the world. But what's even more interesting is the breakdown of Canada's GDP by industry. As you can see, educational services account for 5.21%, which is over $100 billion. And this is good, it's a sign of a developed economy, but we can't continue this video without talking about those who chipped in to make this possible and how much they invested.
They give you a piece of paper, graduation certificate, that costs 100K.
It's around like 50,000 Canadian dollars.
You pay around $27,000.
I paid 23,000.
For a 2-year program.
1 year.
1 year, $23,000 for a 1-year program. By the way, this is the very place where I interviewed the first character of this story, Vrinda, who goes to Cape Breton University as an international student. What she shared was quite disturbing to me.
So it has been a letdown for me in the last 8 months. And when I mean it was a letdown, I think it was a letdown through my university the most. It just started to enroll many more students than my university's community could have sustained. There were rumors that more 1,000 people are coming in. And these 3,000 were already not being offered what they were promised. So that's where I think all of my anxiety started to raise, because 85% of the students to begin with are from India, right? From my country where I am from.
You're gonna find that this place is recruiting. So you can find like in the door, we are recruiting. But when people send their CVs and everything, they don't go. I don't know why.
One major disappointment for us was that we had a particular course which was supposed to teach us how to present ourselves in terms of interviews, how to write, make sure that your CV is at the best level. But the professors kept on changing from time to time, every few months. So every time we had a new professor, they would teach in their own way.
Housing in Canada. I'm pretty sure we all have stories to share on this subject, but I really wanted to hear what the experience of an international student living in a small community was like.
I know international students who are currently homeless. I saw a few students sleeping at the bus stand as well in Sydney. Like their luggages were kept in the grocery cart and they were just sleeping there. So there was a lot to see. There was just one instance, and I have been getting so many messages right after the video. So people have been telling me that they're living at the hotel. I met this other girl, she told me she paid $650 for 3 days, $650 for 3 days to stay in like one of the hotels, their travel lodge.
Honestly, I don't want to talk about it at all. It's not easy, first of all. It says 500 per room. but that 500 per room is 3 people sharing the master bedroom.
They do offer residences, that's what they call it, residence, but that is very costly. They offer residence at $5,000 a semester.
Now, pay close attention as we're going back to the 70s, the time of rock and roll, Star Wars, and Twin Towers constructed in New York. But wait, that wasn't the only thing being built, as in the late 70s, the first mainstream education agencies start offering the dream life to people in India, Nigeria, Brazil, and later China. Companies like Campus Abroad lay the foundation for a new era of study abroad dreams. These agencies find an easy success formula, build up the person's expectations, and sell the dream. Let's see how they do it exactly.
Come to Canada. Vinay Hari will make your dreams come true. This father and son, who were interested in a Canadian education, agreed to wear a hidden camera as they met agent after agent.
हाँ एक साल की चीज़ पे करनी ही करनी है मान के चलो 10-10.5 लाख ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਤੇ ਲਿਆਉਣੀ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਸੈਕੰਡ ਈਅਰ ਲਈ ਕੋਈ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੰਮ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਸੈਕੰਡ ਈਅਰ ਦੇ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਆਰਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਕੱਢ ਲੈਣਗੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਆਰਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਖਾਸ ਕਰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਗਏ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੰਮ
Did they make promises around you getting a job? Did they promise you housing? Were those promises made?
I don't think CBU ever made those promises of giving you a house or a job. I'll be honest, I don't think CBU ever did. But then it's an open fact that students come into a community expecting that you will get a house. So this is what I want to change. I want to talk about it, like who should be held responsible, what should be done. Students need to plan better.
Of course not, because nothing can promise, because first of all, they didn't tell us they will promise that I will get a job at the end. If you live in Canada or South Korea, another country, if you have a degree of university, that it doesn't mean you can get a job.
Part 2. The truth about education in Canada. It's important you listen closely. Even though schools in Canada market themselves to have a higher employment rate for their graduates, they can never make promises or guarantees. When someone clicks on the link in the description to book a strategy meeting with me and map out their journey, I hold myself responsible to explain that nothing is guaranteed, especially when it comes to immigration. So if your agent feeds you sweet lies, it's a huge red flag. Nothing here is served to you on a silver platter. You need to fight for your future. The most interesting part is truth takes time. Last year I made a video where I featured best colleges in Canada without application fees. As with everything else I produce, I base rankings on feedback from my community and my own analysis inside the country. This is how I decided to greenlight the CDI college for the video, only to find out later that the school is not really what it seems for many students.
They're selling you a false dream. It's a fairy tale.
One thing, important thing is you need to be sober for the past 24 months. Have you been sober for the past 24 months?
No, not really.
She still tries to enroll us.
Day drinking or occasional drinking is fine.
Okay. I've struggled a little bit with like some weed and what did you say?
Okay.
That's okay?
Yeah, but what about illegal drugs? No?
Once in a while?
Later, our producer is told she is a perfect fit and is accepted into the program.
No matter how much money it would make me, today I chose to take the video down because it doesn't serve you, my community, and without you, I wouldn't be here in the first place. Part 3. A solution to the problem. One day I met a person who worked at a restaurant, a job many immigrants do, and become accustomed to this reality. Yet she woke up one day and told herself, enough. Then she started working for a well-established marketing firm and had an executive role in a startup that raised hundreds of thousands of dollars in funding. You might be asking yourself, but how did this immigrant do it?
If you want to get a job, then you have to learn a new skill. You have to learn new software, new tools, even networking event you have to attend to. So not only the education you got, I think understand the culture, understand the local, understanding community, it was the key. Just simply think about from the government side that you invite the people and that person is committed to society and community and they work hard for the people who live in Canada. The country has to give it back to them, right? So I think not only getting the money, not only getting a good position of the career, it's not the matter. I think how much you give it to country and the community is going to be the matter. And that is the way they can be successful in the future, I think.
There is no magic pill, but there is a simple formula, things I feel responsible to do as I'm ahead of you in this journey, and things you need to do yourself. The first part of this equation is for me to work with governments, schools, and other students to bring you more transparency. A great example of this is a project I had with the government of Alberta, where the Minister of Education and I sat down to discuss what the province is really doing to benefit international students. Then I spoke with vice presidents at different universities, colleges, asking very straightforward questions like suicide, mental health, employment support, and cost of living. But most importantly, I asked real students that study at those learning institutions if all of it is true or just another marketing technique. After this thorough audit, I could say that Bow Valley College or MRU are good options to consider. But how about yourself, you might ask? What can I do not to fall victim to this business of dreams? The answer is simple: research. Thorough research. Watch videos like this, listen to stories like this, and check population numbers and jobs available in the city where you'll study. Use platforms that verify listings so that you rent safely. And then guess what? Your life in Canada won't be a dream, but a well-crafted reality done for you by you. Unfortunately, there will be many lives that will get ruined because of greedy agents that only care about this, therefore feed you fake promises about what life in Canada really is. But with every view this video gets, their number will go down. So please, if you found value in what you just saw, share it with your friend, brother, sister, parents, anyone you care about. Like and comment your opinion and your experience so that more people know about it. And in the end, money doesn't go to gatekeepers.